Hi, I'm Doug Boles, president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Thank you for listening to Behind the Bricks. We're excited to bring you this exclusive and entertaining content about the world's greatest racetrack. Keep listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hey, Indianapolis Motor Speedway fans, Doug Boles here with you again for another episode of Behind the Bricks. And today, I'm excited to bring to you what's happened to this pagoda that's been here since 2000. You know, a lot of us, when we come in on race morning, we expect to see the date on the top of this building. In the last several years, it hasn't been there. The technology, it's gone a long way forward, and we weren't able to keep up with that old technology. There just weren't parts for it. So finally, this year, for 2025, you'll get to see the pagoda lit up. We want to show you all the work that it took to get those numbers down, get them fixed, and get them back up. So come go on a ride for us to the top of the pagoda. We're on the north end of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway facility, north of turns 3 and 4 in what we call the North Auto Storage. As you can see behind me, not a lot of cars right now, but I am joined by Pat Garlock, who's our Senior Director of Facilities here at the Speedway, and has been in charge of this project that we've all waited for several years, of changing the top of the pagoda out. So we're standing inside here, we've got all these panels down here, but first, tell me, how did these panels get from the top of the pagoda to right here?
So we flew these down at the end of January and then transported them up here to the North Auto Storage building. And during the month of February, we spent a lot of time modifying the structure of how they've looked. So we cut out the front mullions, so we're gonna have one LED frame go in as opposed to having two old Daktronics boards in the openings. So we also did prime and paint the structure as well.
So I want to go back to the flying them down. Tell me what that means and how hard was it to plan for that? How big was that crane?
The crane was massive. It was a 125-ton crane. It was out here for 2 days. There was a lot of, working with Miller Eads and DMJ to figure out how the old structure and old system was installed on the top of the pagoda. And once we kind of dug into that and investigated, we kind of came up with the game plan on, oh yeah, these things can come down. They got up there somehow. And then, we worked with Maxim Crane to come up with a plan on what type of crane would be needed to get all 10 pieces of structure down. But there was a lot of coordination that had to go into, securing the footprint, making sure that these things were safely unbolted and, got down to the ground safely.
So the first thing that surprised me when I walked up here a couple of weeks ago was just how massive these were. And you still had the old numbers on it, so your team's really been going through cleaning these up. But these things are big.
25 feet long by 8 feet tall and about 12 inches wide. So we have 8 25-footers and then 2 10-footers.
And that's because the front and the back of the pagoda are a little bit wider than the north and the south sides of the pagoda.
Yes, sir.
So you talked about getting some panels in here. So this is where the new boards are going to go up. So how is that going to work?
Yep. So this is a mock-up here, but we are going to have one frame go in each opening, and then we're going to have new LED panels attached to the frame.
So unlike the pylon that is actually one big continuous video board, this one is going to be separate video boards. So it's going to operate like it used to. It's going to have the number up there, so you'll operate those individually?
Yes.
Once you get this complete and we get this done, are the numbers getting painted on? Are we decaling them on, or how are we handling the numbers?
They will be vinyl graphics again, and our in-house graphics shops will be installing those next week.
So the idea behind this is that it should look pretty much like the pagoda board that we are all used to seeing when we come in when it's lit up.
Yes, and it'll be basically new technology with the LED getting installed.
So speaking of new technology, the panels that were in there, were they light bulbs or what were they?
They were. It was an old Daktronics system. Think of a scoreboard. It was light bulbs was the technology that we had, probably existing to the pagoda.
So let's go over and take a look at some of these panels. Do you have any idea how many of these panels we're actually going to have?
I know we'll have 36 frames, but I'm not entirely sure how many panels go on each frame.
So these are the boxes where all the panels have come in?
Yes, they just arrived today.
And are these just the panels and the frames, or both, or?
Panels and frames, yes.
Is that one of the frames over there?
Yep. This is what the finished product will look like.
So completely built out.
Yep.
So these are the individual panels themselves. So if we have an issue with the boards, we're just all we really have to do is figure out how to replace one of these, not an entire panel. And you can do all that from the back.
Yep, from the back side of the structure.
So one of the things we didn't talk about is, so you've talked about all that. This is the infrastructure and where it is, but there's also an entire technology component where we're having to connect these to, I assume we're going to go on Pagoda 9 where we do all of our video boards.
Yep.
And is that something you were working with too, or is that an IT plan, or who was working with that?
Kyle Donnelly is working directly with Blue Water on that piece.
So that'll get that connected. So there's this construction, there's an electronic piece. You had to deconstruct it first, get these things painted and ready to go, but it's fantastic. And I know our fans are going to be excited to see these when they're back up on the Pagoda. And you walk in race day and you see the date up there and you can watch your scoreboard. Let's go see how we got these things on top of the Pagoda so they're ready for you. So there you have it. The Pagoda will be lit up for the 2025 Indianapolis 500. It was a team effort to get it done. A big crane, lots of wind, a lot of paint, putting them back up there, but an entire team came together to do something that's special for all of us, light the top of the Pagoda. So when we walk in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we know what day it is, and we know who's at the front of the grid. We'll see you next time on Behind the Bricks. Thank you, fans, for listening to this episode of Behind the Bricks. We look forward to bringing you more exciting content about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway soon.